Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Megara and today is my favourites of the year. Now I was going to do one of these last month, but then I decided nah, I'm going to hold off for a bit because it's nearly December and it's December in like a couple of days for me, but I'm sure this video is going to go up in December anyway, so I'll sit down, have a chat, talk about my favourites which are down here and kind of just say what I've got because half of it's on my face, half of it isn't, and yeah, so let's get into it. So, made it this far, even though I haven't said anything. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified when I upload almost every Tuesday and Friday. Sometimes I miss a couple or miss one or two, but that is mainly because I have a very busy life sometimes. And a very stressful life sometimes, and I'm just exhausted from work sometimes. Because I'm still going to work even in lockdown, so good fun for me. Now, primers. I have 3 primers, which I like to use a lot. My eyelids aren't quite on my head, but they're close enough. So what I've been loving this year is the XX Revolution Cloud Complexion Primer, which is kind of smooth, like your skin, all that kind of stuff, but it isn't too drying because I have quite dry skin. And if I'm having a dry day where I've got my textures kind of there, it's really annoying me, I use this in combination with one of these two. These are the L'Oreal Infallible Magical Essence Drops and the Revolution Skincare Superfruit Extract. These two I kind of use on the daily. I've got this one on today, I believe, along with my moisturiser, and I'll talk about foundations and stuff in a minute. These two are really good, they're quite hydrating. This one is actually a moisturiser cum slash primer, so I use this as kind of both sometimes. But both of these are good. I like this one if you've got textured skin because my skin ain't perfect. I have a face smoothing filter that comes on my Instagram just because I hate how dry my skin can look sometimes, so I just use a smoothing filter and smooth it all out. So yeah, can't really see that much of detail. Also, if you're wondering about what happened with my makeup, I was meant to be doing something kind of natural, normal looking. Come on, I'm having a Zoom with my mum later, this happened, so I'm just kind of going with it and seeing what her reaction is, quite honestly. Now, foundation. If you haven't been watching my channel for very long, you wouldn't know that I do Foundation Friday. This is part of my Foundation Friday, this foundation. I have worn it for one other day apart from today, and I like it quite a bit. It's a Dose of Colour Meet Your Hue foundation. I'm sure by the time this goes up, I'll have done this video. It's good, it's matte, it's pretty comfortable on my skin right now. It's been on for about 3 hours, so I can't really tell you that much either way, but seems like a good foundation so far and has a very good shade range. Oh, almost all of the foundations I'm going to be talking about are high end. I feel kind of bad for this. So one that started it all off for me was the Smashbox Studio Skin 15 Hour Wear, this one. This is one that I do love. I keep going back to when I'm not filming my Foundation Fridays. This is one that travels with me. It's really good. I've used quite a bit of it, as you can tell. It has been lying down, I think. I don't know why it's come off one side and not the other, but I'll kind of ignore it. If you know what shade I use 0.3, which is Fair Warm. Like really pale. Then I've also got the Fenty Skin Hydrating one. Well, not Fenty Skin, Fenty Beauty, the hydrating foundation. I really like this, I've used it quite a lot. It is too pale for me in the summer, but it's very good in the winter. So I'll definitely be getting this one out again when I'm not filming. There's the Stay Naked by Urban Decay. I use this in shade 11 Neutral Neutral. This one I have in 105, by the way, the Fenty one. If you hear some kind of colour matching based on me, I have this in 11 Neutral Neutral. It's very good. It's not that much full coverage. It's kind of light to medium. That's why I like it, because it's very summery. It's very dewy and it lasts all day, surprisingly. I do need to put this to test against a face mask, but that happens. There's also the KVD Lock-It Foundation. You're kind of getting that. I like full coverage foundations at the moment. Very good. It is kind of drying sometimes, but if you've got more oily, normal oily skin, it is quite good. And if you hadn't known, the MAC one, the MAC Pro Longwear Nourishing Waterproof Foundation. This shit lasts, which is why it's one of my favourites. And of course, L'Oreal Skin Paradise. I did a review on this. It lasted pretty well. It's a nice skin tint. It does go a bit shiny if you are on the oilier side, or it won't shiny on me, but I do mush it up a hill on a daily basis. But yeah, there's quite a few foundations I'm liking at the moment just because I test a new one every week, so I've got quite a arsenal collection of them. Concealers. For concealer I have 3 that I kind of go to on a daily basis. Everything else I'm going to be mentioning is kind of what I alternate through on a daily basis. So I've got the XX Revolution concealer. I have it in 0.3 because I have the foundation in FX1, I believe, and it's just a little bit too light for me most of the time, but it probably suits me perfectly now. So I got this concealer a little bit lighter, and this is a beautiful concealer. It's a bit of a weird doe foot because it's more of a foot shape and it's a bit difficult to get out the tube sometimes. It looks like this, so it is more of a foot shape. But I also really like the Tarte Shape Tape, and this is nearly out, and when this runs out I won't be getting a new one until I know somebody going to the US who can pick one up for me, because my brother and his girlfriend used to go over quite a lot, but since COVID happened they haven't been over. And the Collection Lasting Perfection concealer is what I'm wearing today, and I really like it. I really like this. It's cheap. I forgot how good it was because I used this when I first started getting into makeup because it was cheap. They've brought out new shades, so they've got a lighter one than they used to. I have this in, what shade are you? Porcelain 2, or shade 2, which is called Porcelain, and it's very pale. I'm not sure if it oxidizes at all because I can't really tell. I'm not that good at kind of eyeballing stuff like that, but it is a good, very, very good concealer. I have also got cream bronzer on, with cream contour, but I'm not going to talk about that because that is something that I kind of use when I'm feeling fancy. Powders, one high end, one cheap, a bit of a price difference. The Fenty Beauty Pro Filter powder, I have it in butter, and I really like this. This is what I've used today, and I'm now getting in the habit of using one of these puff things. This is the Laura Mercier one, just to kind of press it into my skin. Then I find it kind of gives me a more flawless finish. But I also love the Heart Revolution loose setting powder. This is about a £5. This is about £25. So if you're on a budget, this stuff is good, and I really, really recommend this because it's just, how much do I get in each of these? 28 grams or 22 grams. This is, you get a bit more on this and it does look a bit fancier, but this stuff is good and I would recommend. Bronzers. What I've got on today is a Sleek bronzer. This is the Sleek Obsessed bronzer. I'm not sure what shade it is because it's just basic packaging, and there's my Christmas tree. Yeah, it's just a nice warm bronzer. Whereas the Too Faced bronzer is also nice. I am getting through this. I've had this for a long time, so it's probably gone a bit off because it's not as pigmented as it used to be, I don't think. But they're both, this one's a bit lighter than this one, but they're both very nice colours. I do use them together occasionally. Like if I am not feeling like I want to be bronze, I will use this, or if I'm running late I just whack this on because I know if I just jam my brush in there a bit too hard, it's not gonna leave a nice brown streak right across my face if I just running late. This one is just cheap. Cheap and cheerful is sometimes really good in makeup, especially now, because makeup used to be so expensive if you wanted anything good, but now cheap brands are upping their game so much. And there's new indie brands coming out all the bloody time, and I'm just so chuffed with them all for doing it. Sorry, my leg went dead-ish. For blushes, I'm afraid I have got 2 high-end ones. The Bare Minerals Bounce and Blur. I've been after this for ages, and then it was on offer in Boots at some point, I think, or it was, no, I saw it in Boots because I didn't want to pay shipping. It's really nice. It's not very pigmented. Like, I got it on today, and it just kind of adds a little bit of a tint. Whereas the KVD Everlasting Blush, this is pigmented. Like, I use a touch of this. Like, I will generally just put it in once, put it on my cheeks and build it up if I want to, but it is so pigmented. But it is very blendable, so if you do put a bit too much on, you can kind of blend it out. Highlighter. This may surprise you, but this highlighter isn't my normal highlighter. This is the Sleek highlighting palette in Solstice. It looks like this. I've got a lot of Sleek on today, I didn't realise. Okay, it's got a cream highlighter, which I haven't even touched. I was sent one of these, I was sent the bronze, the darker one in a glossy box last year, well, months ago, and I gave it to my sister-in-law because she is a darker complexion than me. So I bought myself the lighter one because it was on 3 for 2. So when I bought the bronzer as well, and it's got such a lovely glow. Like, all I've got is my little ring light, which is my mirror on, and it's just such a nice glow to it. Like, it's not glittery, it's just kind of wet look-ish. Not kind of sweaty wet look. The XX Revolution highlighter single looks like this. Again, you can see my Christmas tree, but this is a really nice highlighter. I use this pretty much every day and I barely made a dent in it. Like, the top just isn't as round as it was before, but this is. These highlighters, because Revolution are very good at highlighters, these are amazing. These are what I tend to wear, this is what I tend to wear on a daily basis, and if this one ever runs out, I will be repurchasing, just as I'm going to be repurchasing this in a few months. Because this is the first highlighter I've ever hit pan on, and I'm sure people are getting bored of me talking about this, but this palette is just beautiful. I generally use this shade because I think these two are a little bit dark for me, but this highlighter is just, it's so soft. I think you can see it on my hand, it's just very subtle. It's there, you can build it up, make it bright. It's just glorious. Like, I barely put my finger in there, honestly. But it's just such a nice highlighter. Eyebrows, again. This is drying out for me, so I may need to buy another one. It's a Dip Brow Pomade by ABH. The Dip Brow Gel, I love. I bought the gel because I like the pomade, so I thought I'd get the matching gel, and it just holds my brows in place really well. But what I've got on my brows today, it's a mixture of the pomade, but I need to find something to kind of add to it to give it a bit more life. And the Collection Incredibrow pencil. It's kind of a pomade-y pencil. Like, it's not, if you want a thin nib, you're not going to want this. But this is just such a nice pencil. It's like £2 or £3 and I just love it so much. I like these two too, like the Benefit Precise My Brow and Revolution Micro Brow Pencil, but this is cheaper and nicer, and I kind of use a combination of these two if I'm having a lazy day, or these, but it's just so nice. And I keep losing this one because it just falls to the bottom of my little box that I keep my makeup in. When I can find it, I love it, and it really matches my hair at the moment because my hair is getting quite dark. Well, I don't know what's going on with it, it's just getting darker. But both my parents have very dark hair, so it doesn't really surprise me. Eyeshadow. I don't really have a primer that I love because I've only got one. I am getting the P. Louise bases. They are, they haven't been shipped yet, but they've been ordered. But I don't mind. P. Louise are a small company. Are they still an indie brand? I don't know. But, well, I might just play with my hair. I like playing with my hair. Yeah, before I forget, if anybody's got any tips for kind of fine hair, let me know. I have a few videos coming regarding hair probably in the future, but I don't know. Eyeshadow palettes. My one true love. The thing I am so bad at buying myself, and I've got like 5 on my Christmas list. Sorry whoever got me for Secret Santa. This one is one of my favourites. This is the ABH Norvina Original Palette. The shimmers in this are beautiful. I would show you a bit more, but this is a bit wrecked because I use it so much. Like, it actually stays out now because this is, if you follow me on Instagram, like this person over here, quite a lot of my looks now are using this because it's just such a nice, simple, easy to use, I'm in a rush, I need to slap something on my face palette. It's just beautiful and I just love using it, and it's got pops of colour, like it's got purples. If anybody's followed me for the last year, you know I like purples because I am a very purple person. You wouldn't guess by the fact I'm wearing pink, but I love wearing like lilac-y, bright, dark purples, or any kind of purple really, it's just me. It's also why I bought myself this, the Violet Voss hashtag palette. Meg from work. It's one of my favourites. I hope you're proud. Don't know if you watch these anymore, but this is one of my favourites. She bought it for the oranges, I bought it for the purples. It's just such a nice palette. I wish there was kind of a really deep, dark, almost black purple or very dark blue in here, but it is just such a nice palette and I love it. And I kind of try to say this for special occasions because it is It's just beautiful because it kind of goes with everything. Another one of my favourites is the Kami palette. I recommended this to quite a few people at work recently actually, or people I work with, and this, I don't use it very much because like the colour story in it, I just kind of, I'm over it because it's got these I love it for these shimmers, but these mattes aren't necessarily the best, and there's a few shimmers in there which I don't really feel like that you need to have in there, so you could have more mattes in here, but these shimmers here, the big pans, are just beautiful duochromes. I've done a video with this. I'll try and link it up in the cards, but it's really nice. It's one of my favourites, obviously. As is, this was one of the original palettes I fell in love with. It's a Morphe 15H palette. It's a happy hour palette. It's just really nice, and when I remember that I have it, it's kind of a grab and go palette because it's got some really nice looks. It's got some duochromes in here again. I have a thing for duochrome at the moment apparently, so don't know. I'm hoping the lighting isn't too bad today because it is getting towards, what time is it? It's 3:30, so it's getting dark out, but I have got a little lamp on, so I'm hoping the lighting's not atrocious for you guys. And how can I not mention this? This is what's on my face right now. Like it's got a cool tone side, it's got a warm tone side, and I just love this pink here and this blue here. I've got a combination of what's this colour called? All In, which is this one, and Mama Tutorials, which is the blue down the bottom on my lids, and it's just beautiful. I love it so much. I never thought I'd love a shimmer like that. And I try not to use them all the time because I can get in the habit of just doing the same look over and over and over again, and that is no good for stuff like Instagram. But I like this. If you want to see how I did this, head over to my TikTok because I had to put it on there. I never realised how much I natter until I was filming this. Eyeliner, I've only got one I use. It's KVD tattoo liner. This is what I stick on pretty much every time I've got eyeliner on. And lash glue, I just use House of Lashes glue because this is the only one I've got in a full size thing. Like I wish the applicator was a bit thinner, so like an eyeliner pen, but it's the only thing I changed about it. I've got two drugstore and one high-end mascara. Collection Lash Surge, I have bought this about 5 times and I've used it to death every time because it's just such a lovely mascara. I bought this one twice. This is the Revolution Mascara Revolution. It's just nice. It does what I want it to do. The Huda Legit lashes, I saw the hype. I jumped on the hype. It's pretty good. I like it. I don't know if I'd repurchase it just because of the price point when these are like a £5. This is like 20 quid. So take of that what you want. But not all high-end mascaras are good, but not all drugstore mascaras are bad. This is the trouble with mascaras. You don't know until you try it, and that's what unnerves me about mascaras, which is why I keep going back to these two when I buy mascaras. Lip products, Nia. One of my favourites now, the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk. Thank you for this for my birthday. I love it. The Maybelline Ink Crayon in Trust Your Gut, I believe, which is number 10. This, it is literally just a crayon that unscrews up, and it's so easy to apply, it's so nice, it's really comfortable, and I love it. This L'Oreal one, I can't remember for the life of me what it's called because I took the label off because I'm an idiot. But it's really nice. It's really pigmented, it stays on my lips, it is so comfortable. Like, it goes on feeling really wet, but it dries down to literally just a pigment on my lips, which is what I want in a lipstick. And Maquillage. Would I be even doing a favourites if I didn't talk about this lipstick? Like, I have used so much. I need to rebuy, I will probably rebuy this when I've run out, and I've run out of all the other nudes I've got, but this is a favourite of mine so much. One last thing is tools, because my fiance isn't as much of a tool as he looks, but brushes and sponges, my favourite is the Spectrum. Like this sponge is a Spectrum sponge that is like a £5, and these, this brush, that one, and not so much this one. Basically most of my pink, black and There's a couple of other colours, brushes, like this one. Most of my face brushes are Spectrum, and they're not cheap, but they're not Mac price. They're so good. Like, I got a set of about 6 for about 30 quid. I know that isn't everybody's cup of tea to spend that much on brushes, but these, I've had a set of these for about 3 or 4 years, and all that I've done is cleaned them. I have replaced one brush, but it is a case of I haven't chucked the other one out. I just wanted a second one for when the brush is dirty and I haven't got around to cleaning my brushes, and so I got a spare. Like, some days I do a colourful look like this, some days I'll do something neutral like this, and I don't want to have to clean my brush in between, so I bought a spare. So Spectrum stuff I keep repurchasing. This is about my 3rd Spectrum sponge, I think. But I also love the Juno & Co ones. Like this one I bought in Black Friday sales because I really like these Juno & Co ones. It's a velvet sponge, like the purple one. It's microfiber, it's really nice. Yeah, so this one's still in its packet so I don't get it dirty before my other one dies completely. Because they do die. I use hand soap on mine, honestly. So it's kind of gentle on it. But I forgot to mention lashes. I have been loving Lucy Lou lashes. These ones. These are the ones I'm wearing at the moment. These are in Maya Koba. Please forgive my inability to talk or read. These are really nice. These are kind of fluffy. The Bambi ones I wear quite a lot to work when I'm feeling extra. But this is what I'm loving. I do also have a discount code. If you use Megara, you do get 10% off. It is an affiliate code, so if you don't like that kind of thing, don't worry. But they are a small UK brand if you are curious. Yeah, let's go back to the kind of other bit now. Yeah, so thank you for watching this video. If you like, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe and turn on the bell. All of that kind of stuff. Find me on Instagram and TikTok and Twitter. I don't tweet very much, but I try and put stuff on Instagram 2 or 3 times a week, TikTok when I get round to it. So I'll see you next time for another lovely video. Bye!